What's up, bro? If you clicked on this video, you're most likely dealing with some very unpleasant and painful emotions and intrusive thoughts about your partner's past. I'm here to help. Let's talk about it. My name is Alex, and I help people overcome retroactive jealousy, relationship insecurity, intrusive thoughts, and OCD. And my entire channel is dedicated to helping with this. I used to be completely tormented by feelings of disgust and jealousy and intrusive thoughts, to the point where I was having suicidal thoughts every single day. I felt like I was gonna throw up my entire stomach on some days, or my heart was going to burst out of my chest. But I got over it. I no longer suffer from these debilitating symptoms, and if I can get over it, you can too. You do not have to live this way anymore. But in order to do that, it's going to require a disciplined and determined effort. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing some helpful tips and offer you some different perspectives and different ways of thinking so that you can actually overcome this in the most productive and healthiest way possible. The first step that you must take, if you have not done so already, is to accept that this is what you are feeling right now. You need to stop running away from what you're thinking and feeling, and you need to turn around and face it and see it for what it is. As long as you are running away from how you are feeling because these things are so painful and disturbing, you're gonna be running away forever, okay? You have to stop and accept that this is what you're experiencing. This is the truth of your present moment. And until you do this, you're never going to overcome it, because you have to become fully aware of what it is that's actually happening inside of you before you can heal it, before you can let it go. You cannot change something unless you accept it first for what it is. The moment that you accept it for what it is, that is the moment that your healing journey begins. I know that this is terrifying and you're probably really scared to have to do this, but I promise you, as soon as you stop and accept that this is what you are feeling, the path forward to healing opens up in front of you. The next step that you must understand is that you need to stop exploring any thoughts that are coming up. You probably already recognize that thinking about these thoughts that are not very pleasant and are very disturbing doesn't do anything. Thinking about these thoughts is a dead end. And all it really does is it fuels this story that you're telling yourself. You're just wiring these thoughts, this way of thinking, more and more into your brain. So what you need to do actually is stop thinking about it as much as you can and starve these thoughts from all of your attention. This is really difficult because there's a lot of emotional urgency behind these thoughts, but I promise you, this is the way to relief. You need to stop exploring these thoughts, and the more that you do this, the more the momentum builds in your favor. Your mind wants you to believe that thinking about it more will solve the problem, but this is a lie and an illusion. It will never work. Trust me on this. The final step to healing from this is putting effort in to become the person that you want to be. This includes shifting your mindset, understanding your emotions, elevating your level of self-awareness, choosing more productive habits, and working on your mental, emotional, and physical health in a comprehensive, productive way. What you need to understand is that this disgust and jealousy that you are feeling is a symptom of some deeper root cause. So by addressing the root cause instead of worrying and ruminating about the symptoms that you're experiencing, you will actually get over this thing. So that is a quick breakdown of the blueprint that you need to get relief from these feelings and these thoughts that you are having. So now let's have a discussion about the more broad perspectives and understanding of what it is that you are experiencing. When it comes to dating and relationships, everyone has red flags. Every single woman that you date will have red flags. But the key to your success in dating and relationships is learning how to manage and navigate through those red flags. It's about seeing if you are willing to look past certain red flags so that you can enjoy what you admire about the person that you're choosing to be with. But this is a very difficult task if your brain is dysfunctional and you don't have the tools that you need to manage your emotions. Let's talk about disgust. What purpose is this feeling of disgust serving? You need to view this feeling of disgust that you are feeling as a protective or defensive mechanism for you. You're learning about something in your environment that is potentially threatening to you and your offspring in the future. It's that simple, really. This is especially true if you have avoidant attachment, which means that you don't feel that other people can be trusted. You don't believe that people are going to act in good faith, and you believe that as soon as you open up to them, they're going to stab you in your heart. But the more that you dive into this healing work, the more that you become aware of yourself, you'll realize that you believe these things about other people, not because all people are inherently untrustworthy, but instead because the experiences that you have had in your past have made you feel shame and guilt about being yourself. And you attributed those feelings to other people and how they treated you. You're looking at the world through this fearful lens because you don't want to experience those same traumas that made you think and feel these ways about yourself. You don't believe that you can be freely you because there's danger all around you. When you live this way habitually and unconsciously for long enough, your brain goes on autopilot, looking for evidence in your environment that is going to confirm these emotions and this way of thinking that you're holding. You're confirming the established beliefs that you have about people. And this is all happening unconsciously. Very often, the people who come to me who are looking for help with these feelings of disgust and jealousy, they have a habitual pattern of thinking that is very pessimistic, very negative outlooks on life, and they're also very depressed or anxious. This does not have to be who you are. This is not a death sentence. These are practiced states of consciousness and manifestations of your overall mental, emotional, and physical health. It is actually your mindset and your psychology that will determine whether or not you are bothered by your partner's past. There isn't any single thing in our universe that is objectively true, unless you're talking about broad, universal, cosmic laws. So it really just comes down to you and your perspective on that thing. That's it. The lens that you are looking at life through will determine whether the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. On the other side of the coin, this disgust feeling is coming out because on some level, you are viewing your girlfriend as special. That's why you committed to them in the first place, right? The problem is that it's likely that other men who she has been with have not viewed her in the same way. They've simply seen her as a good time or something fun for just the night. That hurts. That is like a knife in a man's heart. Why would any man want to commit to a woman who has given herself up so easily to other men who are treating them like garbage, or they just see her as a body? But here's the thing. If you are not feeling confident and grounded in your decision to be with this person because you love her and you're choosing her for who she is, and instead you're choosing to be with her for other reasons, then of course your security is going to be tested. If you're just committing to her because the sex is really good, or you're trying to boost your ego, or any of these other shallow reasons, then your confidence and security in the relationship are going to be tested. Maybe your ego is getting some major value from being with this specific person, and you're not fully aware of what that thing is. But if you can get to a place where you're committing to this person because of who they are and none of these other BS reasons, then this isn't going to bother you in the same way. You can transcend these emotions. But that's really difficult to do if you're not fully secure in yourself. So you must work to understand, how are you viewing your partner and what is the emotional payoff that you are getting from viewing her in this way? I've had a lot of people leave angry comments on my videos saying that I'm a no good, low testosterone, cuckboy, loser, etc., etc. And then they go on to make the point that promiscuous women or women with colorful pasts are vile and disgusting and the scum of the earth, and they cannot be trusted because they're going to break your heart. They can't commit to you, yada, yada, yada. Maybe even you who is watching this video right now might be having some of those same thoughts and feelings, saying that I'm crazy to be even questioning that you don't have to be thinking this way, that you can look past a woman's colorful past. Here's the thing. I agree with you, bro. It's a good thing that your brain is raising these questions. That means that your biology is doing its job. But why did you click on this video? Did you click on this video because you're in love with this woman and you can't get over her past? Damn. If you really want to experience this love with nothing getting in its way, you have to be able to transcend this automatic way of thinking, this automatic disgust response. Or maybe you're not even in a relationship and you're just watching this video because you want to maintain this angry and bitter mindset and reinforce this negative way of thinking because it validates what you are feeling inside. You can keep doing those things if you want, but I'll warn you that this is not a fulfilling way to live your life. It is very dangerous to allow this way of thinking to run you. And I guarantee you, it's not going to get you any closer to the feeling of love or abundance, which is what you actually want. Enlightenment means that you are overriding your automatic biological disgust response by using your logic and reason instead. You are either using your prefrontal cortex, which uses logic and reason, or you are using your emotional, animalistic, mammalian limbic system. As a man, in order for you to overcome this automatic disgust response to the promiscuous women or the woman with the colorful past, you have to use this logic and reason. You have to activate this front part of your brain. And it may be unnatural to embrace the promiscuous woman, but we do loads of unnatural things all the time. This is the duality and dichotomy of human behavior, of being a human. It is all about how our brains are broken down. It's about our psychology. You're most likely feeling stuck, as I was for much of this process, in your mind making you believe that you have to continue believing and thinking this way. You have to feel this way about your girlfriend. You should be feeling this way because evolutionarily it makes sense for you to do so. But here's a question for you. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? You have a choice to think and feel any way you want about anything because it's determined by your psychology and your state of consciousness. So, on that note, what is your psychology? What is the story that you are telling yourself? Here's what my story was before I started healing. I'm not good enough for love, and I need to manipulate my partner in order to get what I want. I need to manipulate my partner so that they will never leave me and I can get all of the sex and intimacy that I need. My partner is this perfect princess, and I am a disgusting piece of garbage. I can't believe that she would ever want to commit to me long term. Women cannot be trusted. They will always leave you in the end, no matter how much value you bring, how well you perform, and how much you do for them. My partner does not love me as much as the other people that she's been with in her past. Wow. What a miserable way to live. What a miserable way to view women and relationships. I couldn't believe that I was unconsciously reinforcing this story, and it was a nightmare. My life was unfolding in a nightmare as long as I was keeping the story alive. So I made the changes. I chose not to keep this story going. The beautiful thing about our brains is that we don't have to keep believing and thinking these things. Our brains are plastic, meaning that they are malleable. And if you say something and feel something and believe something over and over and over again, that is going to become your reality. That is going to be the frame with which you start looking at life through. Another question that I have for you is, How are you viewing women in general? And how is your own story contributing to how you are viewing women? Are you just viewing them with lust? Or are you viewing them as these beautiful, unique, complex, spiritual creatures? Little complex souls or universes. If you see women as simply just sex objects or a means to an end for you, then you're much more likely to feel triggered or jealous or disgusted about their romantic or sexual past, especially if you're committing to them, if you're choosing to be with them long term. If you see them as actual people who make mistakes, who are imperfect, but are also beautiful, then you have a much easier time becoming indifferent to or just understanding that this is their past and it doesn't really mean anything about me. You have an easier time forgiving them. So again, what is the emotional payoff that you are getting by viewing women in the way that you are viewing them? This is the root of the lens or the perspective that you are holding. If you're still watching this far into the video, I want to give you major props. It's really hard to admit that this is you, that this is your responsibility. It's scary and it's exhausting, but this is the only way forward. This is the healthy way to overcome this. Any other easy way out is going to keep you on this endless treadmill of suffering and feeling insecure in any relationship that you get in. You don't have to keep living this way. And you know what? The best thing about working on yourself and getting into self-improvement is that your life is going to change in more ways than you can imagine, or what the original intention was for you to make these changes. Not only are you going to feel more secure in your relationships, but you're going to have a better, more positive outlook on life. You're going to feel more successful in your career and your relationships and everything else that you do. You're going to filter out toxic people who are not good fits for you. And you're going to fall in love with life. Why? Because you're addressing the foundational piece in what is influencing your entire perspective on life itself. You're addressing the core experience of who you are. So, if you truly want to heal and overcome what it is that you are experiencing right now, you are best suited to do that in a comprehensive way. Remember, you are feeling this disgust as a symptom of some deeper dysfunction inside of you. So any way that you can build and commit to healing from this dysfunction, the better. For example, taking responsibility for the fact that this is your thing, practicing mindfulness and building self-awareness, learning how your brain likes to behave, reframing your thoughts, elevating your mood, building your self-esteem and confidence, and also detoxifying your brain and body so that the chemistry inside of you is your ally and friend and not your worst enemy. So, if you are fed up with thinking and feeling this way, sign up for a free call with me in the description box below, and we can build a plan to help you crush this thing once and for all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.